Welcome back for another helping of oysters, clams, and cannibalism presented by Bolin Media. This individual is Ross Bolin, and I'm here with another individual who went by Barrett Dudley to discuss and review episode 6 of Pluribus on Apple TV. People drinking people, Barrett.
I'd like to eat her kidney with a nice Chianti.
Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, that's my
Anthony Hopkins.
That's my Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah. Love
that.
that.
I've not seen that movie in like 20 years. So
What?
My impression, which I do the sucking noise when he talks about eating kidney with fava beans and a nice Chianti or whatever.
Like Ace Ventura.
Yeah.
You do the Ace Ventura.
I do the Ace Ventura, but it's one of those impressions that just like has kind of like built on itself. So who knows how far away it is from the original?
It's not far enough for it to be unidentifiable.
Okay, good.
I think you did solid.
Yeah, nice. Thank you.
But yeah. Woo!
Yeah.
Let's dive into this thing.
Let's do it.
Let's just do it.
Yeah.
Episode 6, Pluribus, titled HDP, written by Vera Blasi and directed by Ganja Montero. I didn't realize that the episode titles for the following week came out before I guess this is the first one that people like recognized and went, oh, HDP is going to stand for human-derived protein.
Yeah.
Like that was out there.
Right.
Like we had a buddy who texted it to us.
Yes. Yeah.
Which helped people kind of solve this riddle before the episode even aired. But this one opens with Carol Sturka rushing out of the Agrijet factory, terrified and disgusted, grabbing her handheld digital camera, video camera from the car, running back in to record what she has found. And what she has found, of course, is that the hive-minded, the others, are storing the butchered bodies of the dead and then meat grinding them into their little milk cartons for sustenance. I was honestly hoping it was something else.
Okay.
Bodies felt too obvious.
Right.
Having seen the entire episode, it's fine. I'm not mad about this wrinkle, I guess, or this development, but I don't know. I was just hoping for something a little more original, you know?
You didn't want the bones to be their money.
I didn't want the bones to be their money, man. And it's fine. It's fine. I was on the side that was rooting for this to be something different and maybe crazier, or I don't know how you get crazier than eating human bodies, but
yeah. I hear what you're saying. The when we watch Carol kind of like stop, think, back away, gasp. It does feel obvious like what it must be,
right?
And so it would have been
like a little twist.
Interesting, if they had been able to twist that or flip it on its head a little bit. But at least we got like a kind of a reason here for why it takes her a minute, right? Because the bodies are all butchered and shrink wrapped and kind of wrapped up, and like, she got to see one of the heads.
Yeah, like the head is
with the
obvious,
nose poking out to be like, oh fuck, this is people.
It's people.
It's people eating people.
But before the head, it's like a quartered off thigh.
Right.
So you can't really tell.
That could be...
And like you said, shrink wrap.
Could be a cow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that did all make sense in the end. The head that Carol pulls out to show the camera is apparently Vince Gilligan's head.
Okay.
Or a mold.
Yeah, mold of his
Vince Gilligan's head that they then vacuum sealed. They didn't chop Vince Gilligan's head off.
That's good. Good for Vince.
Yeah, he's still with us. Does Carol's iPhone not work anymore?
I don't know.
Digital video recorder? We're just running around with a handheld? Yeah,
like why isn't she just doing this on an iPhone?
Yeah, just, I guess the signal on the iPhone doesn't work anymore anyway, so she'd have to find a way to get the video off the iPhone into a memory card.
Does the signal not work?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I assume the cellular networks are completely down.
Wi-Fi's down.
Yeah, they told us that in episode 1. You have to use the landline.
That's right. Okay.
Because we have not restored cell service, which now that we're deeper into the series and we've got Manusos over there messing with radio waves, it does make you wonder why they cut off cell service for the entire globe.
Yeah.
Or why they wouldn't provide cell service for just the 13, if you will.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah, and as an Apple TV show, you'd think that maybe they want to get a little iPhone in there.
A little Apple on the screen,
Yeah.
Aside from the massive meat grinder, she says there's big vats, cooking vats, And she's like, wait till you see what's inside those. What's inside those, Barrett? Because we don't get to see. Is it just...
It's human soup. It's
after they put them through the meat grinder, do they then boil it down into the liquid that goes into the milk?
I guess so.
Something like that?
Yeah. Do you know what's interesting? One of the things that I didn't mention this on the pod last week, but when she's sitting on her couch with the big bag of the stuff...
People stuff?
The people stuff. I did think that kind of looks like ashes, right? It kind of looks like what would spill out of an urn.
Okay, yeah.
And I wondered if that was like a little nod to the fact that it's,
People dust.
Bones. Yeah. I don't know, but whatever was in those vats, Ross, just wait till you see it.
Oh, man.
Wait till you see it.
So Carol runs home, makes another package to mail to the other normies, but this time she does not trust the hive-minded to actually mail this, considering the information it contains. So she quickly packs a suitcase, and out the front door she goes. Then 30 seconds later, she comes back in because she remembers she spilled people on the floor of her living room.
And she got to vacuum up the people.
Doesn't feel comfortable leaving the people dust on the ground of her living room while she's on this trip. She comes back in, vacuums that up quickly while wearing a safety mask. You can tell, obviously, Carol's very affected by this whole situation with people drinking people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Roll opening sequence from there. So, any other notes on the opening?
I've spent 6 episodes having not looked up pluribus. Don't know why.
Like the definition of the word?
Yeah, so if
isn't it from one many?
It is the Latin word meaning many or from many.
Oh, from many one.
Most famously appearing in the U.S. motto, E pluribus unum. Out of many, one.
Mm-hmm. Out of many, one.
It symbolizes unity from diversity and is also the title of a recent Apple TV Plus show. So that just in case you were like me, just bumbling around being like, I don't even know what pluribus means. That's what it means. Like the intro. Like that it's quick. I like the little, eerie song that's playing.
Yeah.
I like the little atoms buzzing on the P.
Oh.
They're just doing like their little shiver thing.
Yeah.
And I like that it's just like short, concise. We don't need a whole big
it's not a 3-minute song.
No, we don't need the Westworld thing like that. That everybody loves to do.
The Game of Thrones thing.
Right. Yeah.
It's good stuff. If you're a last-minute shopper like me, I've got your back today, and maybe you're not a last-minute shopper. Maybe you've just got one or some of those people in your life who are impossible to shop for. What the hell does this person like? What would they enjoy getting as a present? Nobody knows. Lucky for the Clam Fam, this year there's one gift that everyone on your list is sure to enjoy, a digital picture frame from today's sponsor, Aura Frames. I honestly can't think of a more perfect holiday gift for parents and grandparents especially. I gave my mom and dad Aura Frames for Christmas last year, giving my mother-in-law one this year. I'm pretty sure Barrett gave...
Yeah, we've given them to at least 2 sets of grandparents. We're giving one to aunt and uncle this year. Like it's honestly like it's really a very easy home run gift. Yeah.
Aura Frames makes it incredibly easy to share unlimited photos and videos directly from your phone to the frame. It's so easy, in fact, that it took me all of 30 seconds to delete off of my Aura frame all the pictures of my family members and instead replace them with photos from Pluribus.
Yeah, smart.
Just to be able to demonstrate to you how easy that was. It took about 30 seconds before we started recording today.
I watched you do it.
Yeah. You can personalize and preload the frame with a thoughtful message and photos using the Aura app, making it an ideal present for long-distance loved ones. It's a gift so special, they'll use it every day. The point being, if you buy one for your mom, your dad, your grandma, your grandpa, your aunt, your uncle, your sister, your brother, whoever, you can actually load their frame with photos before they even take it out of the box so that when they turn it on, it will already have pictures of you and your beautiful family or whatever it is that you decide to load onto there, your dog, your cats, your muscles, I don't know.
Photos from your travels.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Not only can you preload the frame with photos so it's ready to rock right out of the box, you can use the Aura app to add photos to your parents' or grandparents' frame whenever you've got new pictures to share so they're able to see new photos of you, your kids, your dogs, your family, whatever you've got going on. My wife and I, we do annual family photos with our kids. And so, for instance, we got those last week for 2025. I can go on the Aura app, select my mom's frame. She's all the way in Houston, and I can load up those photos onto my mom's frame in a whole other city. hours from here. Technology. Your family members can even like your photos and add comments to them. And this thing has unlimited storage. I don't know how that's possible, but it's true. It's magic. It's Aura frames, baby. I've got my own right here, like I said, loaded up with photos from Pluribus that I found online. And for a limited time, save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura's best-selling Carver matte frames, named #1 by Wirecutter, by using promo code OCC at checkout. That's auraframes.com. Promo code OCC. The Carver mat is just like the one you see me holding in my hand if you're watching on YouTube. This deal is exclusive to our listeners, and frames sell out fast, so order yours now to get it in time for the holidays. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply. Again, that's AURA, auraframes.com. Use promo code OCC when you check out. So next, we are in Vegas with Kumba, who is living every James Bond fan's dream. He's in the Elvis Presley suite at the Westgate. It's filled with hive-minded people posing as party guests. There's even at least one Elvis impersonator in there, which is a hilarious concept considering the circumstances. That is such a layered performance. Mm-hmm. It's a hive-minded person pretending to be an individual who's an Elvis impersonator. And you have to imagine it's probably the best Elvis impersonator ever because it has the knowledge of every Elvis impersonator
on the planet.
All in one.
Yeah. Kumba
himself is reliving Casino Royale at a poker table stocked with hive-minded Bond villain stereotype characters.
Yes.
Kumba's opposition pushes him all in. Kumba calls. His eye-patched opponent reveals a straight flush, and Kumba reveals a royal flush. Kumba wins. I'm pretty sure that exact scenario unfolds in Casino Royale, which is my favorite Bond movie ever.
Yeah.
And I love Daniel Craig. I'm pretty sure you were into Casino Royale too.
I love Casino Royale.
Because also weren't we lucky enough to get to go? I think we went to one of the clubs. That it was filmed at, or I did. I don't know if.
Yeah, I think you've been to one of the resorts that they shot at, which I believe is in the Bahamas.
The one and only Ocean Club, I believe.
Like that. Yeah. Yes, great stuff. He's wearing the white dinner jacket, the just like Bond in Casino Royale. The guy's got the eye patch, which Lashif does not have an eye patch.
No.
But it's almost like...
It's like an Austin Powers combo.
Yes, it's exact. Yes, so
because number two
has the eye patch. And Austin Powers.
Who does number 2 work for?
As soon as I saw the white dinner jacket and they're playing music, which is also very 60s Bondian. It sounds
it's like knockoff Bond music.
It's knockoff Bond music. Yeah, it sounds like Austin Powers. You know exactly what he's doing, and then the eye patch dude seals the deal.
And when they show everyone around the table,
coming around, bringing the martinis, Kumba's doing it right, man.
Yeah,
and you're getting your Vegas episode.
Yep. I wanted it. I got it. At least a little bit of it. I wanted, selfishly, an entire episode dedicated solely to Kumba's Vegas exploits.
Doing Bond movies in Vegas, yeah.
But I will take the 20 minutes, 30 minutes we get here in this episode. It's fine.
The Westgate Hotel, real. I wasn't sure while watching this because I was like, what is this? Did they just swap out a sign with a sign that said Westgate? Because I've never heard of that, but it is real. It's just off the strip.
Same.
Yeah.
Not one of the most famous ones, but apparently the one that Elvis loved?
I guess so. Yeah. A lot has changed in the Vegas since 1966.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
The service is nothing like it once was, Barrett.
But I really liked the introduction of Kumba in Vegas.
This was cool.
Doing Bond.
Yeah, it was good fun. So Kumba wins. Even his eye-patched opponent claps, and Kumba has to tell him, hey, pal, stay in character. So he switches back into character, does some Bond villain back and forth with Kumba, and Kumba departs with several women, including the dealer.
Yes.
And his opposition's girlfriend. But he turns down the henchman. Maybe next time. Good laughs here.
Yeah.
I can't decide if what this dude Kumba has going on is the coolest or most pathetic thing ever. Just because it's a complete and total fantasy.
Yeah.
Like on one hand, you might as well live it up and use the hive mind to cater to your whims and needs. On the other, this is some weird shit. Just because it's completely false. Like he wins $5 million here, some craziness.
Sure.
$10 million, whatever. Yeah. Well, nobody uses that currency anymore. The bones are their money.
The bones are their money, yeah.
So, you know what I mean? It's just a big pretend. It's like being in a play.
So, I think it's definitely it's very much the yin to Carol's yang here, the way that both of these people are approaching it. You know,
yeah, he's having a blast.
It's kind of like faced with this kind of potentially world-ending scenario.
Apocalyptic scenario.
Like, what do you want to do? Like, you have the opportunity to literally live out any fantasy you've ever had. Like, this is,
or be a miserable,
or
Carol.
Right. So, like, you know, maybe there's a better path somewhere in between. But like, if you're choosing one or the other, like, you might as well just live this shit up, because like it sounds like everybody's going to die in 10 years anyway.
Yeah, yeah. That's one argument, no doubt. Once he exits, seeing the hive-minded taking off their costumes and cleaning up was like just like another eerie moment.
Yeah,
because they don't speak. It's just completely quiet.
Yes, and they do it so quickly as well. It's just like
so efficient.
Scene over, like boom, we're cleaning up. Yeah, this episode had me wondering and asking myself more than ever, what is everybody doing all day?
Like the other 7 billion, however many hundreds of thousands.
Yes, because like, you know, when Carol, she drives into Vegas, and the strip is empty, it's all quiet, it's silent, like nobody's like, because nobody's doing things, nobody's gambling, nobody like what is everybody doing? Are they just sitting there staring at the wall all day? Because that's kind of what it seems like.
Well, I have a question about the Carol driving into Vegas thing that I'll bring up when we get to that point. But I'm with you, because they only need so many folks to be grinding up the human bodies for human-derived protein.
Right.
Are there other jobs? Like what? It's a very good question. It's one that I imagine eventually we will get some kind of answer to. Of course, there are groups of people in the cities that the normies live in that are catering to their needs.
Right.
But we're talking about thousands of heavily populated cities that don't have any normies in them.
Right.
What's going on there?
Yeah.
What
are these people doing?
Is it just human body or human derived protein creation and like maybe they're working on, you know, how to infect the other 13 or whatever too? Yeah. But I really don't know. Yeah. So Kumba ends up in a hot tub with 4 women, technically 5, but 1 woman is outside the hot tub lounging. Then he invites the cleaning lady to join them. But then suddenly all the women freeze and they say they have to go immediately because someone is coming to visit Kumba. Of course, it's Carol. They do give Kumba the option to leave with them, but he seems to feel bad for Carol and says something like he'll have to talk to her eventually. So up drives Carol through a completely empty Las Vegas. Now, is Vegas empty because they abandoned the city altogether when they knew Carol was coming in, a la Albuquerque? Or before Carol drives up, was Vegas popping? Or is it just where Kumba is that Vegas is popping?
I think it's just where Kumba is.
Fitting into the questions that you have about what are all these people up to?
Yeah.
How do they know Carol's approaching? Are they monitoring Carol with the drones again, or what?
They
That's
could
another
be,
one.
Cameras on the highway, like
just
for
sure.
All sorts of random shit. I feel like, you know.
Yep.
She drives past a ring cam, and I feel like they know about it.
Yeah, you're probably right.
So
the Westgate billboard. Well, so there's a lot of people who are doing surveillance,
who's just monitoring stuff,
but it wouldn't take that many,
right?
You know.
Yeah.
The Westgate billboard says, "Welcome, Carol," in lights. I do like how they communicate through the billboards. That's fun. Once inside the casino, the TV screens direct her up to Kumba's suite for a rendezvous. And Kumba welcomes Carol with some champagne, which she initially turns down. Then she begins her long-winded, dramatic spiel explaining to Kumba like that he might want to sit down. What she's going to show him next is disturbing. But before Carol can even get her video camera plugged into the HDMI, Kumba asks, "Is this about the meeting people?" It is troubling. Turns out Kumba actually has a video to show Carol, starring John Cena.
John Cena, yeah.
What is he going on like some kind of cameo streak here?
You know, he's just...
he was just in The Bear.
Yeah.
He played a fac in The Bear season 3.
Right. He's just cementing his status as a Hollywood icon, I think.
Yeah? And I guess if you're going for somebody that's as recognizable as possible, but you don't want to spend money on The Rock.
The Rock, right. Yeah, yeah.
John Cena's kind of like The Rock light. And I don't mean that as any type of disrespect to John Cena.
Yeah.
He's a beloved actor.
Yeah.
You know, shout out to Peacemaker.
What I'm adding on top of that, you're right. Like he is kind of The Rock light. It's like he's following in the footsteps. Maybe has a little bit more of a humorous edge to him. He can do these cameos really well. And I would say, like, just like as far as like overall Q rating right now, I think John Cena is kind of hotter than The Rock in a way.
I think he's more likable. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know.
The Rock strikes me as a complete and total sociopath.
He's also had some flops recently, you know?
Some. It's mostly. Even the Safdie movie flopped.
I think Red 1 is coming. No. What's that one that he did with
Red 1 was last year.
With Chris Evans? Was that Red 1?
Yeah.
With him and Chris Evans?
But, well, where they're like...
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, I think that
was last Christmas.
That one's coming to the streamer. That one's... I saw that one popping up on streamers this week.
Well, yeah, it's a holiday classic, Barrett.
Well, I might have to...
Who hasn't seen Red 1?
I might have to fire it up.
No, you're not going to fire it up. You're not going to fire it up. But yeah, John Cena here, good fun. For those of you who aren't watching The Bear, like I said, he had a cameo in season 3 that was a little too over the top. This worked.
This was great. Yeah.
John Cena on The Bear, in Barrett and I's opinion, not so much.
Yeah, we were not a big fan of that. Yeah.
But I liked this. You liked this?
I did like this. Yeah.
So he says, hello, Carol, we're John Cena, and we're here to address some questions you may have regarding our food supply. As you know, we can't purposely kill, harm, or otherwise interfere with any form of life. That limits what we're able to consume, because when we say any life, that includes plant life. We can't harvest wheat or corn or rice. We can't pluck an apple from a tree. Once an apple drops of its own accord, well, we'll eat it, of course, and gratefully. Indeed, we harvest all the windfall we can find. Plus, there are billions of domesticated animals, cows, chief amongst them, that still require milking. And there's pre-existing food, millions of tons of it, that was processed prior to our joining. So far, so good, right? Except for one small problem. As of this taping, there are 7,348,292,411 of us. That's a lot of mouths to feed. We're facing a caloric deficit, and to make up for it, we've had to take certain measures. This is how we get our sustenance. 1/2 pint of this shelf-stable liquid contains 300 calories, which means that based on a diet of 2,400 calories a day, someone John Cena's size needs 8 of these every 24 hours. Larger individuals require more, smaller ones less. What's in it? Well, a lot of things. It's manufactured across the globe, so the recipe changes based on the local availability of ingredients. Mostly, it's those stockpiled foodstuffs we spoke of, particularly ones that are in danger of spoiling. Additionally, each carton contains 8 to 12% of something we call HDP, human-derived protein. And yep, that's pretty much what it sounds like. Nearly 100,000 people pass away each day due to natural causes and accidents. Those human remains, which would otherwise go to waste, are our source of HDP. We cherish the memory of these people and appreciate their sacrifice. Given our druthers, would we choose to consume HDP? No. Throughout history, most cultures, though not all, have taken a dim view of anthropophagy?
Yeah.
Honestly, we're not that keen on it. Yeah, which I had never heard that word. It's just cannibalism to me. He said, honestly, we're not that keen on it ourselves, but we're left with little choice. Rest assured, Carol, you will never have to consume this product, not unless you want to, which we assume is unlikely. We will never serve HDP to you in any form at any time. We will continue to reserve only the freshest, best windfall and stockpiled foods for you. We hope that clears things up. As always, your well-being is of the utmost importance to us. Any comments, concerns, call anytime, day or night, and leave a voicemail. We regret not being able to speak to you directly, but for the time being, we need our space. Carol picks up the champagne and chugs it.
Yeah.
So Kumba explains that he has known this for a week because out of curiosity, he asked John Cena. They'd been hanging out together. He was teaching Kumba the sunset flip powerbomb. And Kumba says John Cena makes a fairly reasonable case. In French, he's even more convincing. Technically, in Spain, they said they would prefer to be vegetarian. Carol has a great line where she's like, oh, good, all the lawyers in the world survived.
That was good. Yep.
So Kumba tells Carol he is in no way pleased with the idea of these people eating human flesh. He says none of us are. And Carol's like, us? Who's us? Turns out all the other normies, minus Manusos in Paraguay and Carol, have meetings every Tuesday and Friday. Mostly they're on Zoom. And Kumba tells Carol that one thing John Cena did not mention is that even with HDP, most of the world's population will starve to death within the next 10 years. They told Kumba this after he pressed them for long enough. So Kumba and company proposed robotic farming, but it sounds like that didn't work because they'd have to be the ones to manufacture the robots.
And program it, yeah.
Which I think destroys our hope that Carol would be able to utilize these people to make a lab and have them work in it. It sounds like they can't work against themselves.
Well, no, they can't. in this one, this violates one of their rules that they won't harm anything.
Okay. So they can't contribute.
They can't basically use a loophole to get food for themselves, which will harm somebody or something.
Got it. Yeah, you're right. That's a little different.
I think Carol could still utilize their knowledge base to do research on themselves, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think you're probably right.
But who knows if we're gonna go there.
Carol is hurt that she hasn't been included in the club, and the majority felt her presence might prove disruptive. Also, the non-English speakers were offended Carol did not invite them to join everyone else in Spain. I was hoping that would come up.
Yeah.
Carol goes to the bathroom, which has Kumba artwork everywhere. Nice touch. She cries. You feel truly bad for Carol and recognize like how lonely she is here. And Kumba gets on the phone with someone, presumably a member of the hive mind.
I think, but I don't know. Might be one of the what are we calling the normies?
Yeah, but he says like, "I miss you too, my loves."
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
and I'll see you soon. So, but I just made me wonder which one of them is on the other end of the phone, and I guess it doesn't particularly matter.
No.
Kumba is essentially in a relationship with the 7 billion plus.
Yeah,
all of them.
More or less.
And he don't really care at this point which one. Cleaning lady, hop on in the hot tub.
I really liked this. I liked this whole succession of events because I think it got at something that people have had some issues with, and basically it's that Carol is on this mission to discover things, right? To learn all these things, and she comes in hot, and she thinks she's made this big discovery, and oh my God, wait till you hear this. And Kumba and everybody else are like, yeah, we know, we asked. And like that's something that people have pressed on, right? It's like, why didn't she spend the first hour
asking questions,
asking a million questions? And like, yeah, the other people did this because they are not the most miserable person on earth to steal the the headline of the show, right? Like, she was so sucked into her own kind of grief and kind of like resistance to what was happening that she didn't even bother to like
ask some of these simple questions.
To ask some of the more simple questions. So
after she finds out they cannot lie to her.
Right. Yeah. So I liked that Kumba and the others kind of have that. Like, we just asked.
Just ask John Cena, dude.
Yeah. Ask anybody you want.
Also, a cool note about the John Cena thing, if you're going to go the Kumba route, you could literally make you a list of A-list celebrities that are still with us or are part of the hive and hang out with any of them that you wanted to.
Yeah.
That would be kind of fun.
Right.
As long as they maintain the persona of the person that you're wanting to kick it with.
Only tap into their...
Yeah, be John Cena.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Yeah.
This was something, man. Carol passes out on the couch. Kumba tucks her in, puts a blanket on her. So thoughts on everything up to this point? I do agree with you. It was a really cool like build up, and I had a feeling when she's like, "You even got a TV in this barn?" and he presses the button and the TV starts coming up. Something about the way Kumba was acting was like he knew what she was about to try to do,
right? And
he had a counter to it somehow. And I loved the irony of her wanting to go plug in this video and this big dramatic build up. And then he's like, actually, I have a video to show you that's already preloaded, and I'm just going to press play and listen to John Cena explain this to you.
Yeah.
That was great.
The other thing is that I and maybe this was like the show sort of cut its legs out from under itself almost in a way, although I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing yet. But like the John Cena explanation is pretty good, right?
Yeah, but didn't it make you think?
About what? Like what do you mean? Like,
well, why don't we do that?
Oh, why don't you? Because we are, like other societies and civilizations, frown upon
eating people or drinking them. Apophagy. Cannibalism.
Anthropophagy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Which is just a fancy word for it. It just takes some of the stank off of cannibalism, right? No, and I obviously know that. I'm saying it is an interesting thing to consider, especially with how many people go hungry every day.
Right.
And how many people drop dead every day. Like, we do have this other source of energy that could be utilized. We, of course, don't go that route, mostly out of, like, respect for the dead.
Yeah.
and conceptually we don't like the idea. And I'm not going Hannibal Lecter here. I'm not saying we should be eating or drinking people. I'm just saying I think that is part of the fun of this situation. Is it kind of makes you go, huh? Well, because their explanation is basically we have no other choice. Mm-hmm. Well, what if we had no other choice? Yeah. And there are a lot of human stories like that. Plane crash in the Alps. You know,
your favorite show, Yellow Jackets.
Yellow Jackets. Girls eating girls. Yeah, dude, it's, you know.
Well, Yellow Jackets, I'm glad we brought that up because one of the reasons you don't want people doing this, right, is because famously, if you eat human flesh, you'll get a taste for human flesh.
Yeah. And
then you can't be satiated with anything but
exactly
pure human flesh.
Because it's so delicious. But I think there's also issues with like if you feed cows cow, they get mad cow disease. And I think if you eat, I'm pretty sure the meat is fine, but you can't just eat a whole person,
right?
Or it like messes you up. Is my non-scientific explanation.
The other reason why I think you listen to John Cena explain this and you're like, meh, okay, is because while these people are humans, they've more or less been infected by an alien brain.
They're kind of aliens.
They're kind of aliens now
at this point.
Yes. So you're like, all right, the aliens are eating each other.
Yeah.
So what?
Yeah, it's a weird loophole where you're like, oh, okay. Because you do look at them, the others, as alien at this point. I don't look at them the way Carol does, where it's like, they're humans that need to be saved.
Without their individuality, there is like less of like a need for respect for the individual, right? Yeah. The dead bodies are just part of the hive mind. They're all part of the one.
Everything is one.
Everything is one. Yeah. I still have my tab where I Googled pluribus here, and it's got a little scroll at the top that just says, "What are you searching for, Carol?"
On Google?
Yeah,
they've gone pretty hardcore with the marketing for the. Wow, that is funny.
Pretty sweet, right?
That's pretty funny.
Yeah,
good stuff. They also have like an actual voicemail set up that you can call, and then it will send you text messages with updates. If you call the number on the screen in episode 1. They have it set. They've done all the cool little viral marketing stuff, right? Yeah.
Smart.
If you're a nicotine pouch person like me, listen up because today's episode is brought to you by Lucy. Lucy makes what I believe to be the finest tobacco-free nicotine products in existence. I had one of my Lucy breakers right before recording, actually. So what makes Lucy the best? We're talking 100% pure nicotine, always tobacco-free, made for your nicotine routine and delivered straight to your door. You simply choose your form. They've got pouches, breakers, those are the ones I love, or gum. Then you choose your strength, anywhere from 2 milligrams to 12. Then choose your flavor, mint, apple ice, espresso, mango, etc. They've got a bunch of different flavors. Then save yourself from the weekly gas station stop by signing up for a monthly subscription. There's no commitment. You can cancel anytime, and boom, get that Lucy delivered straight to your door. Like I said, I'm a breaker boy. I love the breakers only, mango breakers to be exact. Lucy has the perfect balance of nicotine and flavor, and in their breakers pouches, there's a little ball you can bust for an additional flavor burst, which is awesome. Lucy is superior to any other products, pouches that I have tried, and like I said, I have tried them all. A lot of the other people's pouches make your mouth feel all dried out and gives you that cotton mouth crap. Lucy is juicy, not going to leave your mouth dry, which is huge if you're a pouch user. You know how annoying that can be. Let's level up your nicotine routine with Lucy. Go to lucy.co/OCC and use promo code OCC to get 20% off your first order. Lucy has a 30-day refund policy if you change your mind. Again, that's lucy.co, code OCC to get 20% off. And here comes the fine print. Lucy products are only for adults of legal age, and every order is age-verified. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. So the next morning, Kumba makes breakfast for Carol and himself. Kumba watches Carol take the eggs and bacon and avocado and make herself a little breakfast toast.
Yeah, she does a little avocado toast.
Then he copies her. Yeah, avocado toast, I guess is what that technically is called. Breakfast toast. Kumba has art all over his suite. It's like he did several photo shoots already.
He did, yeah.
Since he's been moved to Vegas. Kumba asks Carol what her plans are, and Carol says she's going to get another suite. She knows that he likes his space. Kumba is clearly devastated by the idea of her remaining in Las Vegas because he wants his hive-minded servants and concubines back. They will not return until Carol is gone, obviously. So yeah, he puts down he does the thing that you do when a friend suggests something that you're absolutely not okay with, but you don't want to shit all over them.
Yeah.
So you just stop what you're doing, whatever you're in the middle of, and you stare into the distance as if you hope you might be struck by lightning or something, and hope they pick up on
Yeah, you're
non-agreeant.
Right.
So Carol tells Kumba she's just messing with him. Truth is, she can't get out of Vegas fast enough. This city is like $1 trillion light-up ashtray. No offense to your new town. And he says, oh, none taken.
So what was she, speaking of Lucy, was she busting balls here?
No, I think she really was going to stay. I think the loneliness is actually getting to her.
Okay.
And especially now having found out that they are meeting and not including her,
yeah.
I think that really messed her up.
That was my read as well, that she was serious that she was going to stay in Vegas for a little bit.
Because she says, I could come back later and we can talk more.
Right. And then she reads The Room, a.k.a. Kumba, with his eggs falling off of his toast.
Yeah.
And does the thing where you're like, oh, I was just totally
messing
kidding.
messing with you. I knew
Pranks.
You wanted me gone. I fucking hate it here. Yeah. Vegas is a human ashtray. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. But then I was like, wait, would I just misread that? And she was just, pranking him the whole time. But no, okay. I'm glad you're on the same page there with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he has a little comeback where he's like, I'm sure it's no Albuquerque, which felt like an underhanded diss.
It did.
And people do love to hate on Vegas, bro. I'm one of them. Vegas is one of those places driving in where you're just like, oh, God. And driving out, you're even worse. You're like, oh, God, what have I done? Right?
Yeah.
But I have not been to Albuquerque, I don't think. Maybe I have been. I've been to New Mexico once, but it was like 20 years ago. And I don't remember where I was exactly. Where's University of New Mexico? Does anybody know?
That's a good question.
It's in Albuquerque.
Yeah.
Shit, maybe I have been to Albuquerque.
UNM.
It was quite nice.
What were you doing at the University of New Mexico?
Visiting a high school friend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. A mutual high school friend.
Nice.
We'll talk about it off mic. So Kumba walks Carol out, tells her to check in with him now and then. He's I feel like Kumba's a really nice guy. Weird orgies and whole Vegas lifestyle aside.
Sure.
He does seem to actually care for Carol.
Yeah, I think
he is not the cold-hearted prick that he absolutely could be, like Lakshmi.
Right.
It's tough to get a real read on what Kumba's deal is. Again, I would like to see a flashback to Kumba's life before the breakout because I want to know what this dude was up to. Because he seems to know how to be a rich guy. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Granted, it's a very almost cheesy,
right,
cliche version of it that he's going and doing in Vegas. But he's got the clothes. You know what I mean? We're only 8-10 days out at this point or whatever, however many days. He didn't learn how to wear the finest suits and how to drink the finest martinis in a week. You know what I mean?
Maybe. But he also does sort of give the vibe of dude that just won the Powerball.
Absolutely. Maybe I guess all you have to do is say, I would like the best stylists in the world to advise me on what to wear.
Sure.
Yeah.
He
looks so comfortable in this role that he's in.
And
I'm just
we
curious.
don't know what he was doing beforehand. So,
no, we know nothing about his past. As far as I can remember anyway. Maybe they do say what his job was. You know how Zoja gives Carol
yeah. You're right.
Yeah, hit us with that in the comments section wherever. If you're watching on YouTube or if you're on Spotify. I don't think Apple allows comments. They should catch up. So Carol says the only way to save these lunatics from starvation is to turn them back to the way they were. And she says she wants Kumba to help her. She says once they turn us, we're going to starve right along with them. And that's when Kumba reveals they cannot turn us. Kumba says they need their consent to turn them. That actually, as of yesterday, right before Carol arrived, they became aware that the only way to make the virus work on the immune is to tailor it to their individual stem cells, which they can only do by collecting stem cells from their individual bodies, which they cannot do without their consent because it involves,
a painful
invasive procedure.
Yeah.
And they asked Kumba if he would consent, and he replied, regrettably, as of this time, I prefer not to. Love the bow that he does with the hands. So Carol runs to the phone, dials 0, gets the voicemail, asks the others to confirm the stem cell stuff and the consent part. We've had multiple people comment, why has Carol not requested that they shorten the voicemail? I can't remember if I've said that yet, but I am completely on board with that at this point. Lady, ask them to shorten this so we don't have to listen to it every time.
They're definitely playing playing that up, and I think that we as the audience are supposed to go, oh, God damn it, every single time.
Absolutely. Yeah. Vince Gilligan just screwing with us. So the others confirm via response on the Westgate billboard. So Carol calls back, says she wants to make it on the record that she does not consent, and they confirm that they hear her and her wishes will be respected via the billboard. So there has to be a lot of relief here for Carol.
Yeah.
And it really makes you wonder, why didn't Kumba tell her this like first thing, even before the human-derived protein conversation? Wouldn't you be like, huge news, Carol. We are safe. They cannot turn us.
Yeah.
So that's another one of the reasons I say it's a little difficult to read Kumba, because I'm really not sure what his intentions are. Like, or what his deal is. Is he completely, well, I guess he does say they've been working on ways to try and help all of these people from starving.
They want to save the hive. Yeah.
They want to save the hive.
Yeah.
But is that just for personal, selfish reasons?
So very much potentially. I mean, I think Kumba, he loves the hive. He
does love the hive.
He loves them.
All of them.
All of them. But I do, just to go back to the Powerball analogy, right? Like, he doesn't want his $1 billion taken away now. Like,
oh yeah. Yeah, good point. And I guess for like Lakshmi and the others, they have family members that they don't want to die. Lakshmi wants her 8-year-old son to survive, so a lot of them have outside motivations. I don't think Kumba has any family remaining. It's another thing about him that I'm curious. Like, well, it flagged for me when he's on the phone when Carol's crying in the bathroom, and he's like, "Yeah, she's so lonely. Oh, I miss you too. Can't wait to see you, my loves." I was like, wow, maybe that's Kumba's family. And then I was like, oh, wait a minute. It's one of his 7 billion
girlfriends,
lovers,
or
4 billion or whatever.
Boyfriends.
Yeah. So just saying, we don't know that much about Kumba. It's interesting to me that he did not tell her. He's literally walking her out. Was he not planning on telling her at all unless it came up?
Maybe not. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just strange. So huge news though.
I mean, Kumba does seem to care for Carol. I think he empathizes with her. But at the same time, for the last 10 days, he has not been reaching out. He has been part of the collective,
He's been getting her videos and ignoring
them with the rest of them, doing the Zoom calls, the whole thing. They took a vote. Maybe he voted for her, maybe he didn't. But like, he's not reaching out at all. So I feel like
It wasn't unanimous.
He sympathizes with her, but is also put out by her presence,
Yeah. He definitely wants her to get the hell out of Vegas.
She's interrupting the fun.
Yes. Yeah. Good point. Yeah. Now it's time for our discussion of the conclusion of episode 6 of Pluribus, which is brought to you by Raycon. This message is sponsored by Raycon. If you're looking for a holiday gift, I've been using Raycon's essential open earbuds, and honestly, they're a massive upgrade over what I was using before. Love that I can play my music and still hear what's going on around me. I've got a toddler running around, so that's pretty important, but these are also perfect for the gym or when I'm going for a run, and right now they're up to 20% off for the holidays, so grab them while you still can. Regular earbuds block out everything. You can't hear someone calling your name or a car honking or anything. These Raycon ones just sit outside your ear canal, so you get really clear sound, but you can actually hear what's happening around you too. They're really light, and the ear hook part rotates, so they actually stay in. I've worn them at the gym and on walks doing stuff around the house. They do not fall out. They don't get uncomfortable. Raycon has over 3 million customers, and the sound quality is just as good as the way more expensive brands. They're half the price, Raycon, because they're not paying for celebrity endorsements and all that retail markup stuff. I guess we're not considered celebrities, Barry. And if you don't like them, they have a 30-day guarantee. These days, I feel like everyone has the same boring old earphones. Raycon gives you more style, more flair, and a perfect fit for your ears. Been wearing mine for a couple of weeks. They're just as good, if not better, than my old shit. So if you're in the market, I highly recommend them. A couple of features that make them my everyday go-to. Open ear design. Breathable fit delivers comfort, safety, and immersive audio while keeping you aware. Multi-angular hook. Rotating ear hook ensures a secure, personalized fit for any activity. Lightweight, ultralight with a flexible ear hook that adapts to any ear for all-day comfort and awareness. Multi-point connection. Connect to multiple devices and switch seamlessly without hassle. The essential open earbuds are here for the holiday season, and they're selling fast. Raycon audio products are up to 20% off this holiday season. Go to buyraycon.com/oystersopen to save on Raycon audio products site-wide. Order by December 15th. Guaranteed delivery by Christmas, because great gifts shouldn't show up late. That's buyraycon.com/oystersopen. BUYRAYCON.com/oystersopen. open, as you can see on the little whiteboard here above Barrett. But you can also find the link in the description of today's episode. So Carol leaves the West Gate, gets in her cop car. Kumba judges her choice of vehicle. He himself...
As we pan to the... did this feel like a little nod to Vegas Vacation?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, Mr. Papadopoulos.
Mr. Papa Giorgio. He wins the 4 cars. They all go home in one.
Yeah.
Really funny to go back and I really like Vegas Vacation. The 4 cars. Somebody gets a Dodge Viper. Chevy Chase, Clark leaves in a Hummer.
Hummer, yeah.
And then the other 2, I think, are a Jeep Cherokee. Or no, I'm sorry, a Jeep, like a Jeep Wrangler. And then the 4th one, which I'm pretty sure the daughter gets in, is like a Toyota Camry.
Okay, it's a Dodge Viper, a Hummer H1, a Ford Mustang convertible.
Okay.
And a Ford Aspire, a small white economy car.
Yes. The Ford Aspire. Somebody has to take the Ford Aspire.
And they're all from the year 1996. Yeah.
Good stuff. So he's got a different colored Lamborghini for each day of the week.
Labeled by license plate.
Yes.
So that he doesn't forget which one goes to which day.
Yeah.
That's very important. Again, it's like, what, they have a fully stocked DMV working license plates, like for Kumba? Or was this somebody else's car collection that he
No, the sky's the limit. There's no...
You can ask for anything.
You can ask for anything. You can do whatever you want. Everything is super easy right now because you have 7 billion people at your disposal and none of the normal... The internet doesn't work. Like, who gives a shit what your license plate says? There's no need for cops anymore.
Yeah. Well, it just made me wonder if some other douchebag in Vegas had this set up and he just took it, or if he requested it. I guess it doesn't matter. It also makes me wonder, because we're here, is Kumba going to cross some line with the Hive where they Carol him, where they cut him off? Because, he can't stop adding people to the orgies or something like that, Just a thought. Kumba tells Carol that the others miss her. Zojia misses her. They want to come back. They're just looking for a change of heart. And Carol says, fuck them. Tells Kumba to watch his toes and peels out. Then we rewind, excuse me, from 12 days, 12 hours, 43 minutes, back to 9 days, 18 hours, 17 minutes. So a few days earlier to check in with Manusos in Paraguay. Turns out he has found one radio frequency that does seem to be emitting a code.
It's playing something, like almost like a little bit of music, no? Isn't it kind of like a little ditty?
It has a rhythm to it.
Rhythm, okay.
For sure. But he checked every single radio frequency. So what we see here in this scene is him finishing like 9.9999.999 or whatever.
Yeah.
But 8.613.0 has a question mark next to it. So he goes back to that one, listens to it again. That's when we get to hear it. And he adds another question mark. So maybe they are really using radio waves to communicate with each other somehow. Maybe that factors... clearly, this is going to matter.
Yeah.
Then Manusos receives Carol's first videotape. He finds it out by the food delivery. He watches the tape and decides to finally leave the self-storage facility he manages. First, he goes back to what I think is his apartment. Gets some food, then packs up a bunch of stuff, gets in his convertible. His convertible, of course, dies. Watching his whole setup, I was like, okay, is this a weird setup, or is this how everybody in Paraguay has like one of these garages?
I think this is very just Paraguayan.
It's a cultural difference, yeah. Because it was almost James Bondish.
Right.
Yeah. That's a sick way to have your car stored.
Yeah.
And he's got a decent little convertible there.
I mean, it's a tiny little thing.
It is small, yeah.
Little coupe, not a coupe, it's a convertible, but roadster. Convertible
dies. His mom visits him and asks what they can do for him. His mom is part of the hive mind. He says, "You're not my mom. My mom was a bitch."
Yeah, I liked that too.
And he drives off, presumably to figure out how to find Carol. We also saw he took like a map of every surrounding country with him.
So I didn't do the research yet, but we know that Manusos wants nothing to do with the hive mind. He won't eat their food, so he's certainly not going to get any transportation that they provide him.
So how's he planning on getting there?
How's he going to get to New Mexico in his tiny little, roadster with no top that barely runs, and he has to push it down a hill to get it going, right? So I think those maps, I bet if you look, that's every country from Paraguay to the U.S.
So can you get from Paraguay to the U.S. and excuse my ignorance.
Yeah, right.
Without crossing a body of water? Or just by motor vehicle, I guess, by car?
Yes, you can. You can. You go across, like, so
he's going to drive there.
Paraguay, right in the kind of, south central, landlocked in South America. And so you would drive through either Bolivia, Peru, Ecuador, Colombia, and then through like Central America, like through Panama, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Honduras, all those. Or you could go through Brazil, maybe.
Looks like it would
through
take
Mexico.
Yeah, you drive through South America. Well, yeah. I'm looking at a Google AI explanation that says you would need to ship your vehicle or fly.
Okay.
Is Manus... Oh, no, there's already a Reddit thread. Is Manus really planning to drive from Paraguay to New Mexico? Gotta love the internet, man. He has all those road maps, but to get across the Darien Gap, you need a machete and a canoe more than a car.
Jeez, okay.
Well, next week's episode is titled The Gap.
Okay.
So I assume we're going to tackle that.
Mm-hmm.
They say he does seem like a resourceful guy, though, so I'm sure he'll figure out how to load his car into a boat or something else. But I think you're absolutely correct. He does not intend on utilizing the hive mind at all.
No.
He's not going to have them pick him up and fly him. He just shot down his own mom, for God's sake.
Right.
That bitch. And so, yeah, it's curious that it seems like, based on that quick Google, that it would take you maybe a couple weeks if you were going the route that he's going, if you were going to drive and do a ferry or something like that. So it's curious that they rewound us 3 days to get to Manusos seeing Carol's tape. I feel like that gives a little more, wiggle room for the story or whatever.
Sure.
But yeah, going to be interesting to see how like, will it be, if next week is called The Gap, is that going to be the one where we just see part of Manusos' journey, or are we going to see him actually meet up with Carol, or will he not meet up with Carol till like the finale? The show's snail's pace makes me think it's probably more like the latter.
Potentially. And again, and thinking about both the pace and the process that Vince loves so much, like, that seems like something that he would love to dig in and show, is like how this guy would get across this gap or whatever it might, or, whatever the situation might be.
Like, it almost wouldn't shock me if like the season finale climax was Manusos like finally making it to Carol. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or something like that. I don't know. I'm really curious to see. We only have, 3 left?
3 left after this one, yeah.
I'm really curious to see how much more Vince Gilligan decides to bite off in season 1. It is probably my only concern, personally, about this show. Like, will he give people enough to get them fully hooked by the end of season 1? Because I think people have... I'm not saying... a lot of people, but certainly a loud minority, has taken issue with Carol and the way she's handled things, and has taken issue with the pacing of the show.
Yes. Right before we dove into the podcast, I mentioned to you that I was at a Christmas party last night. And I like to speak to people about the shows and the vibes out there, and the
you gotta hit the Geist,
the buzz, and see what's happening in the Geist, what's getting Geisty. And I would say that the interest in Pluribus has started to flag a little bit, just because people they need a little something. And whether that's right or wrong, we can only be who we are, the we that we are. And people want a little bit more from a show like this. They need a little carrot.
Yeah, it's interesting to me.
It's a little treat culture all over again, Ross.
I posted something to our Instagram stories about this, but one of the elements of this show is that Vince is utilizing as few colors as possible on screen, because it makes it easier and more relaxing for your brain to process.
Okay.
What I'm getting at here is this show is not meant to be knock your socks off week after week.
No.
It is just a fun story told in an interesting way with cool Vince Gilligan visuals, and he's going to force you to watch process, but if he forces you to watch something boring, he will show it to you in a cool way.
Right.
It certainly is an interesting premise, but this isn't like cocaine, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This ain't Breaking Bad. It's not meth. It's not drug dealing.
It's not Severance either. Like it's not.
No, it's not.
It's not doing that type of thing.
Right, where it's a puzzle box thriller.
A puzzle box thriller, right.
This has thrilling moments, no doubt, but few and far between compared to like Severance, where there's so many holy shit moments.
So far, way more of a meditation on the human condition, I would say.
Right.
Yeah.
It also, Carol Sturka...
Not that Severance doesn't have pieces of that as well, but this is definitely just kind of like sitting in it, posing questions, making you think, slowly exploring it. And right now, I'm okay with the pace. There's not been an episode of the show that I haven't enjoyed. I would also note, I don't know how long this episode was, but I think it was probably 48 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
And so that's another thing that I think is working along with that, is that the show is not moving at this pace and also doing episodes that are an hour and 6 minutes.
Right.
Because that's a different story. When everything is right at that almost like more networky time of like somewhere between 40 and 52-ish minutes, I think it works a lot better. You can kind of that's where you get to kind of choose your own pace.
Yeah, I totally agree. I would also say there hasn't been an episode that I didn't leave enjoying myself, but I also do understand, like, in this moment in history that we are currently suffering through is filled with people who have been spoiled absolutely rotten with content.
Right.
And very quick hitting content. You know, people love to TikTok their brains away, and like to have the patience to sit through something that's really going to take its time and do some artsy stuff and not be so worried with like constantly thrilling you or blowing your mind is interesting. And I am curious to see, because I worry about it a little bit.
Sure.
But it's also like, dude, Better Call Saul was a slog for me the first 2 seasons. But I still eventually got through them and got to what I consider to be the great parts of that show. And it seems like so did millions and millions and millions of other people.
Yeah.
But that was tied directly to Breaking Bad and had a male lead, even if Ray Seahorn was, the secondary lead, I guess. But there were differences.
Yeah.
Whereas Pluribus is sort of this main character who's rubbing on you, right or wrong. Mm-hmm. I think it's completely fair to say I understand why Carol is the way she is, how she's a little bit of a negative Nancy, a little bit of a fun sucker. Mm-hmm. Obviously, like, she just lost her wife. The whole world is a fucking, like, you would be, there's none of us who could argue you wouldn't be the exact way Carol is being. But that doesn't mean it's fun to watch Carol as the main character episode after episode after episode when she's not the most fun hang.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see if Manusos can be a more fun hang. Kumba's clearly a fun hang. But I don't know if we're going to get to hang with Kumba that often.
Right.
Like, I think we'll pop in and out.
Seems like potentially less of a fun hang than Carol, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying.
Carol at least has a giant stash of tequila sitting behind her TV.
Yeah, this dude's eating dog food. Telling his mom to fuck off. So
the last thing that I'll throw in here about pace is I think it's also important to remember that this show was booked up front, point blank period, 2 seasons. So they know they have a second season. You get a show.
To be clear, he said he thinks it's going to go 4 seasons total, but they were given 2 seasons worth of budget and sign off. So from the get-go.
I'm just thinking about a show like, and this is not a great example because it kind of was only supposed to be 1 season, but like Shogun, for example, just threw everything it had out on the floor. Like, it left it all out on the floor because it assumed it was a 1-season show and then got picked up. But they just went full bore because...
Why not?
Had
nothing to lose.
They had nothing to lose.
Nothing to save for.
But that kind of happens. There are other shows that we can name as well where it's like, well, we got our season, so we better make sure that it is grabby and hooky and sticks so that we get another one. And you kind of have to throw more out there, I think. Whereas Pluribus has the luxury of
knowing there's a season 2.
Taking its time a little bit on this first season because it already has its second season. So
yeah, and at the end of the day, great storytelling prevails. If he's able to make this thing like, the season finale buzzy, I think anybody who faltered and maybe fell off around episode 4 or 5, something like that, will come trickling back in.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious to see, what the public perception and that what I currently see as a vocal minority. I'm curious to see how that all weighs out by the end of the season. This discussion of the conclusion of episode 6 of Pluribus has been brought to you by Raycon. Go to buyraycon.com/oystersopen to save on Raycon audio products site-wide. So big takeaways. The others are drinking people. People drinking people. The others will all starve in a decade due to a caloric deficit, even with HDP.
Yeah.
007 Kumba and the Immune Coalition want to save them from starvation. Mm-hmm. The others cannot turn the immune without their explicit permission. Manusos is in the game now. He knows there's 12 other survivors. He knows there's a way to undo this situation, according to Carol anyway. He knows they can't lie. He takes his little book. He's been recording things in with him along with like Carol's address so he can find where she's at. And we all assume he's planning on not using the hive-minded services, so he's going to be driving and trekking all the way to Albuquerque by himself. One more thing to bring in here at the end. Mm-hmm. So it's easy to keep forgetting sort of like, why was this message sent? Like, let me put it this way. If this message was sent by this extraterrestrial, intelligent, people or whatever.
Right.
With the intention of saving humanity, or saving the Earth, rather. Did they know, or it know, that this would in fact kill everyone? That it would remove humanity from the planet eventually? And if that's the case, why not just do it in one fell swoop? Why give them a 10-year runtime to try and figure it out? But as of right now, in 10 years, humans will be gone. And to be clear, Carol and Kumba and the rest of these people will all die. Eventually.
Well, I mean, so this is something that my wife and I talked about after the episode, like what you would do if you were Carol here. You just heard, you learned two important things that I'll pull from your big takeaways, right?
Yeah.
One, they can't turn you.
Right.
Two, everybody's going to die in 10 years. But you do have access to this hive mind. Like, man, I'm going out and getting a nice little ranch and starting to learn how to homestead, grow my own crops, because I can harvest. I can pick an apple from a tree. I can cut the wheat from the chaff, or whatever you do to make grain. You know what I mean? But you could learn to raise a little bit of livestock, even if you want to go that far. But you could definitely learn to grow your own crop.
So the show ends with Carol and Manusos on a ranch, restarting the human population a la Noah's Ark.
Wow,
that's where it is.
Wow.
Yeah, everyone else dies. Whole planet.
Adam and Eve.
Whole planet.
Yeah.
Yeah. A new version.
Some real biblical shit.
Yeah. I'm just curious, like...
Yeah.
It's one of the big questions for me is, will there be any more alien interference with the planet?
You know, they mentioned in, I think, the very first episode, maybe it was episode 2, they're like, we don't know where this thing came from. We don't know how long it's been out there.
Right.
It's like they picked it up, right? It's like it almost like gave you the vibe that this is just
it's a random...
That this has maybe just been out there for billions of years, like...
or millennium. Yeah.
I mean, and maybe the joined here on Earth will then, like, maybe it's part of that biological imperative to send it back out just to continue to populate or infect, or whatever you want to, however you want to describe it. But a lot
of questions there.
A lot of questions there. I don't think that, doesn't feel likely that if it came from, a source, like another people or civilization or something with with agency like that they would have done it just for everybody to die in 10 years. That doesn't track with that biological imperative, I don't think.
Can Kumba get one of these pregnant? Can he?
Why not?
I don't know.
They still got all their reproductive organs.
Yeah, we had questions last week about, like, are they
what happened? Yeah.
Procreating?
And I'm sure there were pregnant people when this all happened. What happened to the babies?
What happened to the babies? Yeah, what's going on there? Is Kumba gonna have like 15 baby mamas at some point eventually down the line? That he's taking care of, or what? Yeah, I've got a lot of questions around that too.
I don't get the sense that Kumba's being safe.
I don't either. That's what I'm saying. You just invited the cleaning lady into the hot tub orgy, man. He does not care, this dude. So. Yeah, a lot of questions. Still really enjoying myself. Excited to get back on a regular schedule after that weird Thanksgiving hiccup they threw at us. Yeah. And we'll watch another one this Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, technically, is when it will be available. And we will be back next week with our discussion and review of Pluribus Episode 7, The Gap. Also, we are halfway through our coverage of The Wire Season 2 on patreon.com/oystersclamscockles, where it is exclusively available. Our companion podcast for The Wire Season 2 Episode 6 dropped last week. Companion podcasts for all the episodes in Season 1 of The Wire are already available exclusively on our Patreon. Our coverage of The Wire is friendly to first-timers and rewatchers, completely ad-free, of course, as is everything on our Patreon page. Subscribe on patreon.com/oystersclamscockles to watch The Wire with us and support our show. You also get access to our entire backlog of content when you join the Clam Fam or Mollusk Militia tier on Patreon. We did what we are doing now for The Wire for The Sopranos back in 2020 is when we got started. It took like a year and a half, I want to say. But we did a companion podcast for every single episode of The Sopranos, friendly to first-timers and rewatchers, all already available on our Patreon. Barrett was a first-timer. I was a rewatcher. Now we're doing that with The Wire. We have a movie club collection with over 20 movies that Barrett and I watched and then created a companion podcast for. We have a ton of hotline call episodes for House of the Dragon, for Severance, for Succession, for The White Lotus, for The Last of Us, for a ton of different shows you can see on patreon.com/oystersclamscockles. So get in there, support our show. In exchange for your support, you will get so much more to enjoy yourself. Support our sponsors. We had 3 this week. You can find the details and the links in the description of this episode. Follow us on social media. Just search Oysters, Clams, and Cockles on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, Facebook. We're on all of them. Follow Barrett and I at Barrett Dudley on Instagram and Twitter. I'm at WR Bolin on Instagram and Twitter. Video of our show is produced by Kade Orris. Shout out to producer Kade for once again coming in and working with us on a Sunday. Until next time, remember, we would move heaven and earth to make you happy.